work, I would be going live. That's the thing. If I didn't have a day job, I'd probably go live in the morning because that's my time. That will come eventually. That will come eventually. I'm just lighting some Palo Santo. It's so sweet. Oh my God, it smells so good. It smells so good. What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica. We are down here, girl. But I just be in my own motherfucking. We talked about narcissists creating their own reality, baby. When I tell you I create my own little bubble, my own little world, I be in my own world. I do. I do. That's how I understand when people be talking about stuff happening to them online and like it's so much stuff. The way I will log out and not be thinking about nothing happening online at all. I'd be like, oh, I might be missing something, but I be in my own world. I think about having FOMO, like, oh, I might be missing out, but then I think I'm not. It'll be there when I get to it. When I get jump to it. Yes. Who was that? Who sang "Jump to It"? Was that the Pointer Sisters? Jump to it. Jump to it. Oh, hold on. Song. Oh, that's Aretha Franklin, girl. Jump to it. Y'all know what I'm talking about here. I would love to give it. I gotta jump to it. Yeah. Come on, Aretha. So y'all sent me this. I'm gonna chop the video up because I made a reel singing Aretha Franklin because I said jump to it and it just sent me down a road. That's why digital music is the best because I can literally, the song that I was just thinking about that prompted off of something that I said just sent me down a whole rabbit hole. And then I started looking at the blog. So somebody tagged me in this where Dame Dash was telling Charlamagne that he was gay. And I wanted to read some of my comments. So just so you know, okay, let's hear it. Here it is. I don't think you're a proper representation of the masculine black man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you guys are. I'm listening. So that would be an opportunity to say, what is a masculine black man to you? What are those traits? What does he look like? What is that like? Because Dame says a bunch of dumb shit. He's about to say a bunch of dumb shit. And that's why his motherfucking grill is always falling out of his fucking mouth. You need to get some dental, what do they call it? Dental grip. What is it called? Something grip. That's what you need, motherfucker. You over here, you can't even afford teeth. You got to wear fucking grills. And he's so homophobic and misogynistic, but it's just their expression of masculinity falls in with being homophobic and hyper masculine and misogynistic. Listen to what he says. I'm gonna let him talk, but it's gonna be really hard for me to let him talk because he's so incredibly ignorant, but then also is posturing himself like he's a good representation of what a masculine black man is supposed to be. Nigga, you say pause every time you think of another nigga's dick and your dick jumps. You say pause every single time Dame says pause, he's thinking about another man's dick and his dick jumps. Every time you hear a man say pause, his dick jumped, thinking about another man's dick, but want to call somebody else gay. Listen to what he says. Like, your OG is Wendy Williams. Misogynistic. Your OG is Wendy Williams. What's wrong with that? She's like a multimedia maven. She's gone from one extreme to the next to television, had a successful television show. What are you talking about? If she is his OG, what's the problem with a woman being an OG? to Charlamagne, who put him on. And then you try to flip it, talking about, oh, you need to give her grace. He does. He does. It took, I think, until when she broke up with Kelvin, that's when he was able to get back closer to Wendy Williams, Charlamagne. So you're being misogynistic. Your OG is Wendy Williams, and then watch him flip it.
My OG is sitting right here. You see him? Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna tell you why he's my OG. Because he killed anybody or any of those things. He just taught me how to be a better man. Wendy, can you stop? Can you stop? Wendy Williams is your OG. Wasn't she your boss? Yeah, at one point. So she was your OG. She put you on, and you should give her grace. And you should.
But you want to insult him by saying that Wendy Williams is his OG, and this is my OG over here, a man. But then you turn around and say, well, then you need to give her some grace. He does. What are you talking? You just talking. Listen to him. It gets worse.
Also give her props out of respect. But because we have different trauma, like we're different. Like I'm not the kind of guy that would I'd rather get my ass whipped than run. But you're proud that you ran. Yeah. I'd rather get my ass whipped. And it ain't no disrespect, but I kind of think you're gay. You just act a little gay.
Because you don't want to get beat up in a fight and you ran away from getting beat up, you're gay. I would rather get my ass beat than get beat up. And because that, I think you're gay. You're not a man because you won't allow yourself to get beat up by other men. Listen, this is a man raising, y'all want these motherfuckers in the home so bad. And listen to the way that they think. Listen to how they think.
You got a problem with gay people? Not at all. I've got a problem with people that pretend they're not gay. So let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
You heard Charlamagne? What if it's none of your business? What if it's none of your business? It's none of your business where I put my dick. That's because you thinking about my dick and where it's going. That's what you're thinking about. Why do you give a fuck where I put my dick? You're the one calling me gay, but you constantly have dick on your fucking brain.
This is hilarious. I love what you're doing. This is hilarious. So what I'm saying is, you might, because you started in gossip, which is, is very feminine.
Gossip is not gendered. The barbershop exists. Go ask an old black man in his neighborhood what's going on around the neighborhood. He knows everything. Where do you think pillow talk comes from? A man talking to his wife about what's going on among his friends or his bed partner, not necessarily his wife, but whoever he's laying down with. People talk about people because people are relating to other people. So they talk about situations and tell stories about how they've related to someone else or about what they've heard about what someone else is doing. Men and women and everybody in between gossip. Gossip is not gendered. It's not, oh, that's something feminine. And when you say, oh, I'm around men all the time. And if you have not been around, sitting around them and see, y'all don't sit around men enough because y'all be in the kitchen. Sit around them and listen to them talk. They gossip. They talking the same shit about so-and-so doing something with somebody else and whatever is going on. They're gossiping. You think, oh, because they're just talking to each other. And then you say, I ain't never seen my dad or my grandfather gossip, because they're not gossiping around you. Because they don't want you to know, girl. Come on. That's why you don't see them gossiping. What do you think they're doing when they're fishing? What do you think what they're doing when they're playing golf? What do you think they're doing when they're hunting? What are you talking about? Shut the fuck up with y'all stupid ass ideas. And that's what's wrong with the way that you perform masculinity. Listen to what he's assigning to women. He keeps insulting women. So part of your demonstration of masculinity is to be homophobic and misogynistic. That's all he's doing. And that's your representation of masculinity performed by a black man. You can't even keep your motherfucking teeth in, nigga. Shut the fuck up.
And you want people to listen to you, and that we want people that represent masculinity, because men need to be doing what they need to do as men. They don't need.
And what is that, Dame? What is that? You have yet to describe what it means to be masculine, and you have yet to describe what men need to be doing.
To be worried about girl stuff. Do you think he's masculine? Would you want this man around you if 10 guys jumped you? He'd run, and you'd have to run with him. I like my women to feel safe when they're around me.
How can a woman feel safe around you when you actually used a woman to attempt to insult Charlamagne? I don't feel safe around men like you. You're using women as a way to insult another man. You're not going to use my identity as a way to insult another man. That means you are an unsafe man to be around. You first tried to insult him by saying Wendy Williams was his OG and my OG is a man. Then you go on to say, because gossip, what they talk about and what everybody's talking about and coming up there telling their stories about their experiences. So I don't know if you want to call it gossip, but gossip is just basically shit that is not verified. That's all that it is. We just are down here talking. We don't know what. But some people talk and gossip and know the truth about things happening around. And they don't gossip in front of other people. That's not something that you just do. It's girls, it's between me and you. It's just between us three. It's just between us four. Whoever the group of the people that you're talking to with. You can't tell me I should feel safe around you because you will beat up another violent man.
I don't tell people and I'm not saying that's your way, but you're just not masculine.
So he's saying because you're not masculine, that means that you're gay. When there are plenty of masculine men walking around who are gayer than bluebirds singing on Sunday. And they're masculine. They're not feminine. Because in a black man's eye, and a lot of black people's eye, light skin is feminine. But when you see somebody who represents being gay, like a little Nas X, where he's dark skinned, he gives a little masculine, a little light, masculine light, but you equate his dark skin with being masculine. So when you see his representation, now there's a problem. But there are plenty of men walking around here masculine as fuck, gay as hell.
I've seen him run. I looked at it.
So they're saying if you're not masculine, you're gay. Because to them, again, when I tell you that homophobia is riddled in misogyny, because it's an idea that you're not masculine because you are gay and therefore feminine. Because what's not masculine is feminine. Not what's not masculine is gay. What's not masculine is feminine. What's not gay is whatever identity sexuality you fall under. For him, what's not masculine is gay. So it's riddled in misogyny. His hatred of the feminine, his rejection of the feminine, his rejection of the other part of him. You're rejecting an entire part of yourself by rejecting the feminine, which then turns around and makes your performance hyper-masculine, which in essence makes you unsafe to be around. Because keep listening.
A whole reel of there's like a thing that says how many people bark. There's stuff that how many times you play with, talk about other people's genitals. You real masculine men don't do that. You said that some guys was throwing you kisses because they liked your paws butt, and you went back. That's gay.
Why do you have such a problem with gay?
I don't have a problem. I have a problem with you. Wait, no.
That's why you pause so much. Charlamagne told him. That's why you pause so much, because every time your dick jumps, you done thought about another man's dick, and that's the reason why you're saying pause. That means like stop the entire conversation. I just thought about somebody else's dick or their butt. Because he just did it. Pause, their butt. That means to me, in my head, your dick jumped and you thought about another man's dick or his ass.
No. Crazy, yeah, that is why I pause. There's a lot of people like you. There's a lot of people like you that are gay that pretend they're not.
Black men can't be gay.
Black men that are gay should say they're gay.
Well, I'm not gay.
You are. Anyway, now let me talk to you. Let me ask you. Let me say this. You acting like a girl.
You move like an old auntie. You an old Harlem auntie.
I could punch you right in your face like a grown man.
Now you see he resorts to what? Violence. I can punch you in the face like a grown man. So now you didn't call this man gay. You didn't insulted him by attempt to assault him by saying his association with a woman is not really authentic because you started off in the feminine gossip lane. So you're not a real man. So therefore I think you're gay. And now I want to inflict violence because that's my performance of masculinity. And that's why you're unsafe to be around.
I won't, and you won't do shit.
See, Dave, this is that's not Patty. So just so you know, because I knew he was going to say
that. I've seen you run. Yes. I've seen you. I'm not saying I will. I'm saying no. Your version of respectful is different than mine. We were on the street right now, and you would talk like that. I would have fucked you up. But I'm not going to do that. Nah, I wouldn't have got beat up. I wouldn't have got beat up. Let's end this. So let me say one more thing before I leave. I
have so many questions.
All right. Oh, you're right. You want to leave? You can't. I don't think you're a proper representation of the masculine black man.
All these comments trying to make it sound like being gay is normal is crazy. Shout out to the ones who are no disrespect, but if two people can't naturally reproduce together, then they're not supposed to be together. Right? Shut up. You don't even make sense. It's the students laughing at the teacher. It's very apparent Dame wanted unsolicited smoke. I love Charla didn't entertain it. Don't ever let someone trick you out of your seat, job, platform, title over some BS like this. If Dame don't like it, don't listen. Here, let me tell you what I said. I said black men have a skewed perception of what masculinity is, and their hyper performance of it makes them reject their feminine qualities. And with that, you get violence after calling someone gay. So his homophobia is masked by his hyper masculine reaction to another man by saying he'll punch him like a man. It's sad to observe the confinement of masculinity that black men assign to themselves and the women who reinforce it. Dame is a typical misogynistic, homophobic, straight black man upholding and reinforcing their toxic ideas of masculinity. What a shame. This woman says, I've never heard or seen my dad and his friends sitting around gossiping about people ever. You don't see a lot of things these niggas do. Y'all don't see a lot of the things these niggas do. Because they don't gossip around you. That's why you don't hear them gossiping. They're not gossiping around you. They don't want you to hear what they're talking about. When has gossip? Barbershops exist, honey. And I don't understand. It's the gaslighting for me. Like, what are you talking about? Men don't gossip. Girl, men gossip. And that's so crazy because you're assigning a gender to a normal thing that people do. People gossip. It's not gendered. I says whenever Dame says pause, his dick jump thinking about another man's dick. That's where I am with it. This woman said, I date a barber. I know everybody's business. The barbershop ain't no different than the beauty salon. It's the same exact setting. And then we even watch like a film talking about what goes on in a barbershop. And what are they doing? Talking about what's going on in the neighborhood. That's gossiping. That is gossiping. Now, like I said, to me, part of gossip is you don't really know for sure what you're saying is absolutely true, right? Like we come down here, we're on the gossip blogs. That's why we say who's reporting this, because I'm not saying this. I'm just reporting and commentating on what you reported, right? Because we don't know if this is entirely true. Not what Dame is saying, but like any other stories that are happening, right? We don't know what little spin was put on it. What, like, you read the headlines, they're trying to get your attention, but you don't necessarily, once you read the caption, you're like, this is not even true what they're saying. This doesn't even go along with the caption. What is this? The caption doesn't even talk about what's really happening here. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of that going on. But about time somebody called him out. He doesn't respectfully represent black men, nor does he show strong masculinity. He doesn't have to represent y'all. Shout out to Scotty by Nature. He's in the comments getting the people together. Another unpopular opinion. I don't think any black man looks up to Charlamagne or looks at him as a hero or motivator. That's not his position. Is he supposed to be somebody's hero? In radio for 15 years, the only influence is being a clown. That's thought-provoking, ain't it? Meanwhile, DL men act more like Dame than Charlamagne. I'm just going to use my critical thinking skills I learned in the 5th grade here. The interaction clearly showed Dame's pattern of manipulation and disrespect. The man tried to undermine Charlamagne and Envy's masculinity by projecting his own insecurities onto them, Charlotte in particular. Dame repeatedly threatened physical violence without following through, was him desperately trying to control the situation through intimidation and emotional pressure. When Charlotte remained calm and set boundaries, Dame shifted his tactics. Him attempted to assert dominance wasn't working. Dame's response wasn't to engage with questions being asked. Instead, he tried to walk away. A basic emotional ass response. Withdrawal tactic in an attempt on controlling the interaction because he couldn't get the reaction or response he wanted from Charlamagne. So he attempted to leave to regain a sense of power and control. No matter how you feel about Charlamagne, it was impressive to see him stay composed and handle the situation with respect, even as Dame tried to twist the narrative and provoke him. Right. And he immediately got violent. So it's your expression of masculinity is reject the feminine, because the feminine equals woman, and there's no way that I'm going to be associated with anything feminine because I reject the feminine. So now you're already out of balance. Now you're already dealing with somebody who's not in balance with their masculine and feminine. And when you reject the feminine, what do you resort to? Violence, harm, domination, control. That's your representation and your idea of what masculinity is, right? Creating a chaotic environment, like literally creating chaos. And then like saying that because he ran to avoid getting beat up, that you would rather get beat up. That's a testament to your masculinity. You gendering gossip when people gossip. I mean, you're up there talking, you're always sitting in front of a camera talking about something. And then I think he was the one who called Charlamagne Chatty Patty. I think he was the one that called him that. So now you are rejecting the feminine. Anything that is not masculine is gay, when that's not true, because you have plenty of masculine gay men running around the world. You have many masculine women, feminine men, feminine women, because femininity and masculinity are a performance. And when you reject the femininity, the feminine aspects of who you are now falling into a hyper performance of masculinity, which includes what this person so eloquently laid out here: domination, control, submission. Their interpretation or idea of what masculinity is already skewed, and it's skewed through the illusion of white superiority. So they want to mimic domination, control, having someone submit to you, calling someone gay, then wanting to fight them. It was just a very typical kind of response for a toxic masculine person, presenting this toxic masculinity in this way. That is literally what toxic masculinity is. And so many black men perform toxic masculinity because they are trying to reject the feminine and then overperform the masculine. And then they become violent and threaten violence, and then have the nerve to ask a woman, do you feel safe around Charlamagne, or do you feel safe around Dame Dash? And the truth is neither one of them, because Charlamagne has admitted to giving his now wife Spanish fly. So he's not somebody you would trust around your drinks. And Dame is definitely not somebody you would trust. So neither one of you niggas, if we really want to get down to it, are safe around women. Women shouldn't feel safe around neither one of you motherfuckers if we really want to talk about it. Well, at least Charlamagne married a black woman. I love Charla laughing in the face of someone who thinks their unsolicited opinion holds any weight. If I'm gay, you broke. I don't know, something about a man questioning another man's masculinity is kind of gay. No, it's this comment right here really sealed it. Like, who is this? Best Bundles USA. This is a woman. This perspective was really good. And that's exactly what he was literally doing. This comment needs to be pinned. It really does, because this is exactly what he did. And Charlamagne said, what if it's none of your business? What if it's none of your business? See, I think a lot of people say they don't want to know what goes on in other people's bedrooms, but you seem very preoccupied with the genitalia of people, when it should be none of your business unless you're about to have some type of sexual experience with the person, a consensual sexual experience. There's no reason for you to know what's between my legs. There's no reason for you to know. And it doesn't even matter. It really doesn't matter, because people are going to get pleasure from who they get pleasure from. It doesn't matter. As long as it's consensual and it's not an animal or a child, I don't give a fuck who you fuck and how you fuck and where. As long as it's not on a playground anywhere in front of kids. You understand what I'm saying? Because we do have to keep some, age appropriate. But I don't care who you do. I don't care how you do it. I don't care when you do it, why you do it. I don't care. As long as you ain't fucking with no animals, kids, and everything is consensual, I don't care what you do. And I don't understand the preoccupation with caring who people are having sex with, to the point where you want to fight. You want to prove your masculinity by fighting, by creating chaos, when a true demonstration of masculinity, not performed by men, but just a performance of masculinity, is to bring order to chaotic situations where there is disorder. And then when I tell when black people are homophobic, all you're doing is upholding the same systems that oppress you. I'm telling you, the only reason why men don't completely reject their performance of masculinity and their idea of what manhood is because somewhere in there, there's an opportunity for you to dominate and control a woman who agrees with shit like this. That kind of posturing happens all the time in groups of men. They're testing the other man. I'm gonna test you. I'm gonna see if you're gonna be a punk. I'm gonna see if you're gonna run. I'm gonna test you with violence, threaten you with violence. Dame Dash is whack to me for that. But that's just that's the kind of person he is. Somebody says Dame is right though. When has gossiping ever been manly? Exactly. It has never been. But because it's coming from Dame, y'all gotta downplay him. You sound stupid. Dame is strange. Dame is grasping for relevance anywhere he can. Sir, your days are gone. You and your cousin Stacy are washed up and broke. Dame is gay as fuck, because why are you concerned about another man's sexuality? They tell on themselves every time, right? He probably want to know what that dick do, that cockadoodle do. I want to know what that cockadoodle do. I stand with Dame. You standing in a pile of bullshit. Dame acted like a child. That wasn't masculine at all. A man helps correct another man, not shame him. And then he wanted to get up and leave because he couldn't control the situation. Dame Dash is a fool. Let's see what else is going on. That was the neighborhood talk. Let's see what else is going on in the neighborhood talk. Carucci is a fool. Okay, let's see. Jocelyn's Cabaret. Terrence Crawford's mom seemingly admits to telling him that she would never amount to anything as a child, claims she offered $10 to any kid in the neighborhood who could beat him up. I wanted him to be a man. They couldn't whoop him. Who is this man? Terrence Crawford. Oh, he's a professional boxer. And his mom admitted to having people try to beat him up. Your parents can be your first enemy and your first bully. It's priceless to have your parent admit their faults. A lot of them be in denial, pretending they don't remember anything. That's so funny. I thought about that. How you're when you would ask your parents stuff about what they did to you and they don't remember, it's because they inflicted the trauma. They didn't experience the trauma. So their bodies don't remember. Your body remembers. So when you're like, do you remember this time? No, that I was doing the traumatizing. So I don't remember what I did to you. You're going to remember because you were the one traumatized. They're not going to remember because they did the traumatizing. Let's see. I don't even want to hear about that. So, oh, it says, ma'am, 76-year-old grandma shoots neighbor with flare gun because their pets are ops. Neighbor snatches her by the hair in retaliation. You didn't think I'd do it, huh? Let's see. She's the. I think I feel it, huh? Thank you. Elliot, what is wrong with you? Remember this woman, Kathleen Schumann. She's the 76-year-old who fired a flare gun at her neighbor's face. She posted bail the last time she was arraigned. It was set at $5,000 cash, $25,000 bond. And today she was supposed to appear in court with her attorney, but she did not show up. When her case was called, the attorney said that she couldn't come to court today because she's in the hospital, but she did not disclose for what reason. Home security camera captured the entire incident. You see Kathleen walking up to her neighbor who was walking his dog. Now he has a reason to beat her ass. I'm sorry. He does. You shot me in the face with a flare gun? Girl, I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is where I agree with, because you hurt me. I'm defending myself. You shot me with a flare gun. I'm about to rip your fucking hair off of your head, lady. You about to be roof gone George Jefferson out this motherfucker. Girl, what? This is where I agree. And firing the flare gun, the flare bouncing off of his face. Right now she is facing assault charges and she is due back in court October 8th. This case brought neighborly disputes to a whole other level. What the f*** is wrong with you? What? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You're trying to kill me. Didn't think I'd feel it, huh? Thank you. What? She said you didn't think I'd do it, huh? He immediately, when I'm saying he immediately ran up to her and grabbed her by the hair and took her to the ground. I promise he didn't do enough for me. She better be happy it wasn't me. Ooh, white on white crime is going to be the next level lately. It's Bianna Jet 2 Holiday. Shout out to Jamie. That's me. Woo! Y'all, all this white on white crime is getting out of hand. That slap on top of the head is comedy. His reflexes were quick as fuck. He probably thought he was dead. Right? He has a thing on his face. She shot him with a flare gun. I'm gonna beat your ass, lady. We about to be rolling on this motherfucking grass, bitch. I'm gonna hold you until the cops come. I'm gonna try to get my legs around your neck and just hold her. And just hold. You know, a woman's legs be strong as hell. You cannot, if she want to trap you in her legs, she be strong as hell. We got that lower body strength because we carry human beings in our bodies. So we got that lower body strength. Don't let me get my motherfucking thighs around your neck, bitch. I'm cracking your head off your body. It was off with your head like a nutcracker, bitch. I'm gonna get my fucking thighs around your head. Girl, I can't believe they're talking about you didn't think I'd do it, huh? Bitch, you didn't think I was about to scalp your ass either, did you? Woo. And then she in the court like with no teeth, like this, looking mean as hell. What's her name? In Long Island, Kathleen Schumann allegedly shot her 67-year-old neighbor, Richard Catrone, in the face with a large flare gun after an argument about leaving her cat outside. According to reports, Richard just asked her to keep her cat inside. The next thing you know, Kathleen upped the whole flare gun at close range. The man was left with 6 stitches in his cheek, but it didn't stop there. Security cam footage caught Richard stumbling back before he ran up on her, let go of this dog's leash, and snatched her ass by the hair, even hitting her in the head. He can be heard yelling, "What is wrong with you?" before grabbing the gun to protect himself and the dog. Richard told NBC New York that Kathleen showed no emotion and even told him, "I'm sorry I missed. Sorry I missed." Neighbor said this beef has been bubbling for months because their dog and cat doesn't get along. Schumann pled not guilty in court to second-degree assault with an incendiary of device. The judge set her bail at $5,000 and ordered her to stay away from Richard. Both of them ended up in the hospital, but thankfully their injuries weren't life-threatening. Girl, he grabbed her so fast. She said, "You didn't think I'd do it, huh?" When I tell you, he immediately ran up to her and grabbed her by the hair and took her down to the ground. He said, "Idiot, what is wrong with you?"
She posted bail the last time.
Who bailed her out? I'm not bailing grandma out. She done shot somebody with a flare gun and her ass needs to stay in jail. Girl, go away. Go away from me with this. Cardi B says female artist she uplifted turned around and slept with her man. You gotta know who you're being nice to. Cardi B recently opened up to Kelly Rowland about the downside of being too supportive in the industry. In a candid conversation, the Bongos rapper shared she once slid into a female artist's DM to uplift and encourage them, only for some to betray her trust. You got to know who you're being nice to, she cautioned Kelly. The Grammy winner didn't name names, but made it clear she becomes more cautious about who she lets in her circle.
That's why sometimes when I see like a new little bitch coming up with some shit, and I feel like they kind of cool, and I feel like people be dragging them. I be sliding in their DMs like it's like, hey, you know this temporary. This is a good and bad thing. But sometimes you gotta know who to do it with, because I have done that to bitches that done went and fuck my man and all that shit. So it's like you gotta know who you being nice to, because it's like these bitches right here, you out there feeling sympathy for them and wishing them the best, and these bitches will beat you and fuck your nigga. That you ain't even realize them bitches. You are here like a damn. She look like a nice girl. I feel bad for her. Like, it's like, let me think that. Bitch, then you start being shady to me.
I'm not supposed to be kind of giggling at this, but it's how you're delivering it. It's really throwing me off because it's not funny. But think on it, girl. The way you are.
That is some real shit. Like,
so animated.
She's a Libra.
It's real shit. Like, it's really some real shit.
Wow.
That ass. The internet era is just so insane. Like, it's like, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of, one day they love you. That's why
one day they love you, one day they hate you. That's why I wonder, every now and again, there will be like some, like, I don't know, it will happen. It happens every now and again. Where somebody will, like, I'll say something down here and a lot of people like will misunderstand it. And it's so funny because it does typically happen around or before like Mercury retrograde, where there's like miscommunication. And so I attribute it to oh, people are just misunderstanding you right now, and that's going to pass. It's not going to always. That's what I was talking about earlier, like things happening online and people being so much in their phone that you're literally like in an alternate reality. You're in an alternate reality that isn't asynchronous, right? It's happening at a delayed time. And so when somebody's like, oh, I was getting so much internet, I was like, just turn the phone off, like turn the phone off. And typically people will be over here like with their tiki torches, but in 2 weeks they're on to the next. They have something new to be upset about or outraged about, or have to do think pieces about. You know what I'm saying? So there's just time where people are not going to understand where you're coming from, and that's why you have to be able to explain where you're coming from. I think that's important too. Like I feel like a lot of people, they'll take on the emotions of something else. It's not even their own emotions. It's like, why am I upset? Like I do that. Like I will drop down into, if I was this person and this is how I would feel. And this is so a lot of the times when I'm talking, it will sound like I've gone through that. It's because I'm e- empathetic, and I can actually fall into what you've been through, not necessarily having to go through it, but feeling the emotions of how it would feel or how I would feel. Like I'm able to step in your shoes. You understand what I'm saying? And so for me, I can, I know when I'm being misunderstood, but I'm able to explain why I feel the way that I do or where my perspective comes from. That's why when people will say, oh, I don't necessarily agree with you, but I understand where you're coming from. I understand how you can have that point of view. I don't necessarily agree with the point of view, but I can understand how you have that point of view. And to me, I feel like that's where effective communication comes in, where somebody is able to explain why they have that point of view. Like, for instance, with Dame Dash and Charlamagne, no one asked him, what is a man? How does a man act? What is your definition of masculinity? Because you would have heard him basically reinforce toxic masculine traits and the performance of toxic, like literally describe and demonstrate and perform toxic masculinity for everybody to see it. Your masculinity is so fragile that every single time you think that what you're saying could be perceived as homosexual or gay, that you have to stop the conversation by saying, pause, because I don't want anyone to think that I am thinking about a man and a man being together. So to me, you still are thinking about dick when you say pause. That's very homo. It's very homo. It's very homo. Y'all want to say no homo, the shit be homo, because you're still thinking about it. And because y'all cannot stop thinking about it, you think about sex with men. You think about men's genitalia. Y'all act like y'all don't be looking at each other's dicks and how big your dick is, because that's a thing. Like, and then you want to turn around and start to get violent, like your demonstration, and you can't even explain what a man is. It You just think what a man is masculine, and you think that men have an exclusive cornerstone on masculinity, which is not true, because we are both. We come from, every single one of us come from both, right? This idea where somebody's like, if you don't, two people can't be together if they can't reproduce. That's not my only function here. So it doesn't mean I need to be with a man because I have a uterus. No, that's not how any of this goes. And then if that's the case, how are the all of these heterosexual people making gay people? And how can gay people make a children and those children be heterosexual? Even though I think heterosexuality is a system, created in order for people to reproduce, because people still exist. People still having relationships with the same gender, and people are still coming into this world. Isn't that amazing? Because it's not necessary, right? It doesn't matter. All you need is a male and female. Those people don't have to be heterosexual. Because that's nothing. That's just a male and female coming together to reproduce. Neither one of them have to be heterosexual. Could literally be a gay man and a lesbian have sex, or a trans man and a trans woman have sex. And it's so stupid to be so preoccupied with that you're telling another person that they're wrong, and this is the only way it should be. No, it's not. That's a lie. And I'm gonna call it a lie every single time, because it is a lie. And you know it's a lie because people still end up here, babies, every day. Every single fucking day is a baby being born to a queer couple. Yeah, you don't have to be heterosexual to have children, but you know that. And if you don't, today you do. You learn something new every day. Then don't they say, try to learn something new every day? Oh, he's the boxer. Terrence Crawford is the boxer. We're being entertained once again by men beating each other up. Literally wearing down your body. At what point do you stop? Like, why is Mike Tyson talking about fighting again? Like, go sit your ass down somewhere. You lucky you made it out without your goddamn brains leaking out of your ears. You are really lucky. Be surprised that your favorite artists don't share your politics. Says Janet Jackson, Kehlani, Lizzo, Meg, Selena Gomez, Summer Walker, Tyla, and Cash Cobain are going to be on Cardi B's upcoming album. Lizzo speaks on how sampling laws and music industry impact Black artists. Elvis didn't have to give anybody publishing. She's been talking a lot about the music industry. She was talking yesterday about music videos being a thing of the past. I don't understand how. I mean, I don't get it. I don't know. I guess, girl, y'all love Chris Brown more than he loves y'all, which is crazy because it's all an act. Oh, Serena and Venus are. What is the name of their podcast? Oh, Stockton Street is named after a street in Compton where they grew up. Okay, that's the name of their podcast, Stockton Street Podcasts. Okay. With the Williams sisters, Serena and Venus, have a podcast coming out addressing rumors, upbringing, and more. Okay. We never really addressed misconceptions or even dealt with it because we were so in the weeds of playing tennis and being our best. Now there's a narrative that I love, that we can own our own story and address our own things and address our own story in a different way. The podcast comes at an exciting time for Sister Venus, 45, recently returned to competitive tennis after a 16-month hiatus, making her the oldest single entrance at the U.S. Open since 1981. Congrats to the Williams sisters on their latest endeavor. Yeah, so I'm sure we'll start hearing clips of things that they're talking about, which should be very interesting. I love when people can. That's what I'm saying. Tell your story. Talk about your experiences, because years and years and years from now, however way you want to get it out, if you're doing it by video, if you're doing it by book, if you're doing it by film, tell your story. That's why I said people can't tell people to to be quiet about sharing their story. You understand what I'm saying? Like even with Monique, we just talked about it. Like Monique keep talking about Oprah and Tyler, even though it's like part of her story and she keeps going back to that chapter. She has every right to keep talking. She could talk about it until she turns blue in the face. Whatever they do is what they do. If they're not responding, they don't acknowledge, they don't do anything. But for her, she wants to hold on to it. She says she's never letting it go. She's never going to let y'all forget that Oprah and Tyler did her wrong. And if she wants to keep retelling that story, every chapter of Monique's book, there's going to be a blurb about her being mad at Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry. Every chapter of her book, no matter what chapter of life she's in, there's going to be a little blurb. Don't forget that Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey, ba 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 ba, to Monique. Don't forget. Next chapter. Don't forget. Don't forget, girl. That's her thing. That's her story. That's going to be part of her story. That's her legacy. So that's what it is. Okay, I think we're done for the day. Anything else? Let's see. Let me see if something interesting is coming out here. Oh, Robert Redford died. Oh, wow, at 89 years old. He lived a long life. 89 is a good life. Robert Redford. 89 is a good life. '89 is a good life. That's good. Luigi Maggioni's state terrorism charges have been dismissed. Women are saying if a man's car is over 5 years old, he's not financially secure. That's
Girl, shut the fuck up.
stupid. I don't get this thing where y'all want to be in debt. Like the more debt you're in, the I guess that's not my thing. I remember being like financially immature and financially irresponsible. And when you like mature and you're like, I can't, this is dumb. When I realized that, oh, I don't have to have debt. You don't have to have debt. When you clear up all your debt, if you don't want to acquire any more debt, don't do it. Don't acquire any more debt. If you want to live by the idea that I need some lotion, if you want to live by the idea that that you need to be in debt in order to show, like, a car is debt and it's a depreciating debt, and you want somebody to have a car that's five, girl. I actually think it's awesome to see people driving down the street in like old cars and like they're running, and you know what I'm saying, like they're running and they got oil in the car and the car is running like it's operable, like, and it's an old car. I love that. Hold on. Oh, I was supposed to come back. Take care of each other, protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.